Hello everyone, it's Michelle Lloyd here, founder of United Art Space. I have a very, very special guest with me today, and this is a bit of a reunion that's actually bringing a little tear to my eye, I have to say. Dr. Viv, thank you for being here. I just want to set the scene before I introduce you properly, because Viv and I know each other from, oh my gosh, years ago, and I'm talking at least 10 years ago, when I was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia and numerous other health conditions. And I was in a really, really, really bad way. And my stomach is going now talking about this. And it was probably one of the lowest points of my life. I felt so desperately poorly mentally. And Dr. Viv was my lifeline. And I'd seen so many therapists in my life since I think from the age of 12, I'd been in therapy, and Dr. Viv was the very, very first person in my life. And to that point, it was at least 10 years, 12 years of therapy with other people, that Viv just bounced into my life, this energy and this positivity and fun. And she was, you know, just someone so different to anyone that I'd ever spoken to before. And what came from that was me just learning so much about myself and being accepting of myself and embracing who I am. And so I've never had a chance to say thank you, Viv, since we had those sessions together. So you have created this person that I am today in sharing what I do and finding what I love. And you were the one that got me out of that horrible, dark place that I was in. So thank you so much for being here. So
I can't speak now, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I put mascara on and I hardly ever wear makeup. I'm just a bit, I'm obviously trying to use humour as a deflection to stop the tears. That was so emotional to listen to you say that. And obviously it's really rare to, well, it's not rare, people do give you feedback, but to have had an impression on you, I think it's probably 12 years ago, 13 years ago, to have had an impression on you that you're saying has lasted and that you hadn't had that sort of experience before is so touching. It's so touching, and I'm so happy for you. You know, what you're doing is amazing. I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you. And so for those who don't know Viv and what she's doing today, she's an artist, an online doctor of psychotherapy, a filmmaker, award-winning author of The Blossom Method and kids book Robot Meg. She lives in my head. And so I brought you in, Viv, because our paths crossed so bizarrely 12 years after that initial meeting and you transforming my life and just helping me get out of that really, really dark place. And then I was on live a few months ago talking about why I do what I do, and Dr. Viv appeared, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it was so ironic because I was actually talking about my diagnosis and you appeared on one of my live sessions, and I was like, wow, how spooky that the universe says, as I was talking about that, you appeared in the feed, and I was blown away. And it transpired that Viv is now making artwork and has joined my hub, and the success that you've had has been phenomenal. So that's why I brought you in today, because it is such an amazing story. But let's step back to a little bit about yourself, and then that journey most recently, which I think was only May, is it, that you started painting? Yeah.
Okay, so you've given me a really beautiful introduction. Also, what you probably don't know is I'm a senior lecturer at university now as well, just to add to that list of jobs. So, yeah, what happened was part of my business disappeared through coronavirus. I was working in doctor surgeries and hospital settings in outpatients, and basically what happened is they said you can't come in anymore. And I was like, how am I going to run my business? Well, you're not. And so literally, I think I was so shocked that literally what seemed like overnight, I've been running a successful business. I've been working for myself for 14 years. I had my own little clinic. I was like, yay. But I also spend time working with the deaf community because I'm fluent in sign language. And I was working in doctor surgeries. And all of a sudden, they just said, you can't come in. You can't see the clients or patients at the surgery. I was like, I think I sat around for like 2 weeks in shock, and then I thought, I can't do this anymore. I've got to do something for my own mental health and well-being. And 15 years ago, probably nearly 16, I said to my husband, I would like an easel and some paint and some canvas because I'm going to paint. And he was like, yeah, okay. And for 15 years, he's been like, when are you going to get that easel out? And it's literally, it was all in its box. Brand new, beautiful. And he really did buy me some lovely stuff, some expensive stuff, and some expensive canvases. And I literally unpacked it. And on the 15th of May, woke up and started to paint.
Wow.
That's what's happened.
And what was that urge? You know, what was it about that, you know, that set that was sat waiting? What called you? Do you remember? Like, what?
Yeah, there was 3 things that happened. This is going to sound odd as well. 3 things that happened just before. So I'd seen an artist online and I'd liked their work. And I thought, oh, gosh, do you know what? I think I could do that. I think I could paint a picture like that. That would be fine. I can do it. Of course I can. Now, so that was like a bit of inspiration. And then you're gonna laugh even harder at this. I have never heard of or seen Bob Ross. I didn't even know who it was. And he was on daytime television. Well, of course, as someone that's so busy, you know, I never get to see anything like that. And I saw him and I was like, what? This guy is funny, playful, great. You know, I love what he was doing. He was so free. And I was like, that's amazing. And this is the weird piece for me. On the night before, I was trying to capture through photography a picture of it was a full moon. Oh, it was certainly nearly a full moon. I can't remember exactly. And I just tried to capture. And then I saw this really weird image and I captured these photographs. I've got a picture of it. I captured it and thought, oh my God, what is that? That is weird. And it's kind of like a ghostly figure on the balcony. And I woke up the following morning and just said, today I'm going to paint. And those are the 3 things that really kicked it off.
Wow. Isn't it amazing? It's amazing to be sat there for all those years and then something just triggered you to do that. It's like it's been lying dormant and then all of a sudden activated. And so it's incredible. So then we crossed paths in July and you said, I've just started painting. And I was like, that's fabulous. And then what's happened since? You're like this energy of creative opportunity, and things are really starting to take off already, aren't they? So let's just go back to that moment then in May where you just got the paints out and you started painting. How did that feel?
Oh, it was a really warm day. And what I decided to do was go outside. So I've got a little balcony and it was really sunny and I just started painting. I had this image of this painting in my head and I stood there and just thought, wow, this is amazing. I just feel so relaxed, so happy. It was bright. It was like, I can do this. It's fine. Just do it. Just go with it. Went with it. Kind of happy with it. Posted it on Instagram. Was like, what do you think, guys? You know, just like, here, this is what I've done today. They were like, have you painted before? And I was like, no, I've never painted. Because even at school, we were not really allowed. It was like, oh, only the really good artists could use the paints. You could use a pencil, and
Oh,
we'll give you some different types of pencils, and maybe we'll let you use a bit of watercolor paint if you're good. So yeah, it was like freedom and just doing it. I wasn't thinking about it. I don't think about it. I just do it. And I just felt fantastic. I just felt inspired, and I was like, right, I need to paint some more. And then I started painting what was going on for me internally,
yeah,
putting it out as a visual diary, which kind of feels more natural to me because of my background, my mum's deafness and her visuality and what's important and how words get in the way. And I literally started painting these dark seascapes. It was dark, I was cross, I was kind of stuck, and I was like, why am I in the house, and why aren't I running my business, and why is the government stopping me from doing what I do, and why
yeah,
is this virus happening? And then I thought, right, I'm just going to paint, and I painted, and then the kind of dark seascapes turned into lighter kind of oceanscapes that turned into floral scapes that turned into all kinds of stuff.
yeah. So it was like an exploration of everything internal just pouring out in this visual way. And do you think through that process it was helping you internalize and process everything? Because you're a therapist and you speak to people. It's so interesting, isn't it, how you then turn to that visual way of processing everything that you're feeling. And I
I
find that
think,
fascinating.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I find that fascinating how it's like a different process, but has led you to becoming an artist.
I know, and I suppose I don't think I could express myself with such clarity verbally. I honestly don't think that I could say the things that I feel, and in the same way that I paint the things that I'm feeling or thinking about. I literally just stand there and just paint, and then think, oh, I feel so good. You know, to feel that energy and feel like I don't know, gone through some kind of therapy for
Yeah,
myself in this
yeah,
process. It's
yeah,
fantastic. It's such a strong feeling of, oh, I feel really good. And then this intermittent, I'm just going to go and have a look at just going to have a look at what I've done, you know, walking away and then stepping back into it and having a little look and thinking, yeah, I feel satisfied in my expression.
yeah. So there's this feeling of release, and I understand that because when I make art now, I can come into the studio and my head is spinning and I've got so much on my mind. And within 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's all dissolving. And I start to feel my shoulders relaxing. And I feel it's just quietened that part of the brain down that is active and intense, and it just soothes it all away. And so I totally get where you're coming from. And then what it sounds as well as a byproduct of that, the output, the art, then helps you connect with why you're feeling the way you feel, or helps you put things together and you think, there's a connection here, or this is why I'm feeling angry about this. So it kind of dissolves the feeling, but also helps you understand why you're feeling it in the first place. It's so powerful, isn't it?
Exactly,
And
it's exactly that, isn't it? You express it, you put it out there, then you reflect on it and think, whoa, that's so, you know, what I was feeling. And now I feel like, okay, I've said it now. I've expressed it. I mean, I don't think words for me, they just mean so little, you know, so
mm,
little. But the physical act of painting is like, I can express, I can drop my shoulders, I can feel great, I can be laughing and smiling through this process. And
Yeah.
my work is sometimes really heavy.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
for me, this is like, oh, I've never felt so good.
Oh gosh, isn't that incredible? The power of art, everyone. And this is why I'm doing Your Art Matters Week, because your art matters to you, to the feeling, even your physical body, as we've been describing, the weight in your shoulders, the way you carry yourself, the way you connect. So I've been making art recently, and it's helped me have insight on why I'm feeling the way I do. And it sounds like that's helped you process all of that anguish and the loss of your business and the changes that are out of your control. And it's kind of giving you a way to channel that energy, that negative energy, into something that then has led you on a journey but helped you process it at the same time. I find it fascinating and incredible. And so what came next for you, Viv, was then this artwork, the output. So the process we've just spoken about, but then you have this amazing artwork. And so what happened then, in terms of, this was a very personal thing that you were doing and it was processing for you. What happened in the next stages of voicing this into the public and talking to people about this process and the art that you'd made? What came next?
So I kind of shared it with people on Instagram, people, you know, that I'm connected with. So some people I met through Instagram or Facebook, some people I've never met, some people, and I just got some incredible feedback like, whoa, that's a really powerful piece. And I don't know what they see, I know what I see, but I don't know what other people see. But I got a lot of feedback from a lot of people, and I started to think, somehow there's some connection in the expression for them. And so I asked a few people, what do you see? You know, what is it? Why do you love these seascapes? Why do you love this rough water? What is this about? Because I was trying to understand, what do you see?
Mm-hmm.
What is this about for you? And why do you love this so much? Is it a soul to soul connection? Is it something that I can't find the words for? So I got lots of people passing comment, lots of people saying things, and I was like, okay, so this somehow is resonating with people. So I carried on, and I produced probably over 40 pieces since May.
Whoa. Really? Wow. It's just like there's this output and you just can't stop. So have you been painting every day?
Yeah, most days.
Yeah. And it's like it's not habitual anymore. It's almost like a need, isn't it? Would you say? You know, it's
Yeah.
You get up and I need to do this. Would you feel?
I do feel like that, and this is terrible, but sometimes I feel like, oh, this is whatever it is I have to do is getting in the way of what I want to do. You know.
Yeah.
I really want to paint. Okay, just calm down. You'll feel much better later. You can paint later. So it takes me to places where sometimes I will go to bed and then I'll get out of bed and think, I'm going to paint now. I'm just going to get up and paint. So I will
In the
be
middle of the night.
of the night. I will do it. If I feel like, you know, if I couldn't sleep or I was trying to process something and I didn't even know how to verbalize it, I'll just get up and paint.
Incredible. And to think that you weren't painting before May and this has become your life now. So you started to then speak about it, share your work, get that feedback, which is so important to do, everyone. You know, to ask people why they're interested in or triggered by your work is such an important thing to do. And I guess then from there, what was the first kind of opportunity where you thought, because I'm guessing at this stage it was still, I don't know, the hobbyist outlook or this need to paint. Maybe you weren't thinking of yourself as an artist at that point yet. I'm not sure. Was it, you know, it was still.
I don't know, because I've been so prolific in my output, I think I just thought, right, okay, I'm just going to keep on doing this and see what happens. I did it, and then I was like, do you know what? I'm producing art, so therefore I am an artist. I don't have this kind of, I was trying to explain it and I can't find the word to describe this. It's really tricky, but it's not like a filter. It's like a, I don't know, it's like nothing will stop me. You know,
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I think I was probably 16, and somebody gave me a reference and they said something about my tenacity. You know, it was something about my drive and my, you know, once I get into something, probably slightly obsessive. So once I get into something, I'm like, yes, I'm just going to throw myself into this wholeheartedly. So, you know, if I write a poem, I wrote a poem and then I made a film of the poem. Writing the poem wasn't enough, but I needed to see it visually to be able to connect to it, so that I felt that other people could connect to it. So, you know, write a book, put pictures in it, get an illustrator from New York who you never knew existed, find their work, track them down, ask them if they do it. These are the visuals that I want. So I just got a very clear idea. And then I just pursue that, you know, naturally, and it feels like this is what you do. This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing, and I just keep on. So, as I say, now I'm busy with other commitments, and I'm like, when can I squeeze in my painting time?
So talk to us about some of the opportunities that have come your way since you started painting, because I keep seeing in the Hub group, can't believe it, I'm being featured here now, can't believe it. I can't describe the amount of posts I've seen just in the last few weeks from Viv on, you know, the opportunities that have arisen. So talk to us about some of those things that have come your way. And we've been talking about the gallery representation. It's just crazy.
Okay, so I think the first thing I did was I obviously I'm quite active on social media, and I'm also thinking about what can I do with this piece where it might reach more people. And there's a couple of pieces that I did that seemed to really like get a lot of feedback. And I'm going to be really honest. I don't care if someone hates a piece of work. I'm not bothered. Literally, I don't care. What I care about is what connects them to the piece. So when people are really connected, I think, what is it in this piece? So I just sent this piece to a magazine and sent it to another magazine, and both of the magazines featured this piece. So within a few weeks of painting, I had one of my earliest pieces in 2 magazines. That was the first thing that happened. So I was listening to what other people were saying about the connection to the work. It actually is probably still not one of my favourites, but everybody seems to really like it. So again, it wasn't about me. It's like, what is this about for you? Then I just read what's going on in the art world, and then I just think, okay, this is going on and this going on, and I just make applications. I literally go, my art is no better or worse than anyone else's. I will throw myself into the mix. I don't doubt, I don't question, I just do. And I don't have any kind of mindset concept that says you're not good enough, you shouldn't do that. You know, I don't have any internal script running that says don't do that, you can't do that, you started painting in May, how dare you think you can do that? I just don't have that script.
Great.
I think I've got as much right as anyone else to throw myself in, and if it comes off, it comes off, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. Why not? Give it a go and see what happens.
It's just such a great outlook, and I think everyone needs to start adopting this way of doing it. Is just to get yourself out there, and you've got nothing to lose, and you don't know where it's going to take you. And so by having that attitude, what's happened is you were featured in those 2 magazines. You've been approached by a gallery in Madrid to be featured in a big exhibition. And that's come from you just speaking, getting out there, having conversations, even though you only started painting in May.
Yeah, and also, I mean, right now, this is so timely actually and really poignant for me. Today is the opening of the exhibition in Greece with the gallery there, and I've got 3 of my pieces. So I applied and sent 4 possible options, and they selected 3. And tonight's the opening night. And how wonderful to be able to say, my paintings are in Athens in an exhibition today, and it's the opening night, and you and I are talking on here. How lovely is that?
It is.
So,
To just,
yeah, you know, I'm in this exhibition, and then I've been. I actually, there's so many, and then I'm in a quarantine exhibition, which is coming up in autumn. Then I'm in a gallery in Yorkshire from November to February. I've got 2 pieces in there. And I am also, there's another big one. Oh, you know about the one where I've been approached with a gallery in Madrid and hoping to submit to theirs. And I've been longlisted for the Doncaster Art Fair as well. And I won't know until the 10th of October which piece has been longlisted. So, and it's a voting thing. So please, if you like them, please vote.
Well, we will put the links in this video for anyone to vote on that. So what an inspiration you are. And I just have loved hearing this story because, like you say, most people would have got in their own way saying, I've only started in May and I need to have all this figured out and I need to know what I'm doing. And you've just taken the bull by the horns and just gone for it and proven that you can. It doesn't matter when you start, how much experience you have, whether you're self-taught, qualified, what you paint with. You know, if you have that passion and that drive and you just start talking to people and release that fear of rejection, I think we get in our own ways, don't we? And Vivien, you just absolutely inspired me and everyone else watching to just go for it. And to share your story here is so inspirational because there'll be people who have sat there holding themselves back. So I hope that this helps you realize that, you know, it's possible. It is possible. And so what's next for you in terms of, I know you've got all these exhibitions planned, but are you the kind of person where you're just taking each day as it comes and you're just seeing where this is going? Or do you have some kind of plan and vision for where you'd like to take this?
So I would love to have an exhibition. I would love that, to have my work, because do you know what? This is going to sound maybe a bit weird as well. I don't care. To reflect on that journey and to see that visual diary, for me, I think would be kind of like so emotional, so powerful.
Yeah.
But so that's a really personal thing.
Yeah.
But to see how other people would connect to it in a space and to be able to see their bodies and their expressions as opposed to listen to their words or anything else. Yeah. Again, because of my deaf background and my mum and, you know, I'm starting to sign now. So working for 30 years with the deaf community, it's like, of course I feel so connected.
Yeah.
To, you know, what the somatic is telling me.
Yeah.
So to see that, see the expression, see the joy, the puzzle, the whatever it is on people's faces and bodies would be just amazing. Amazing.
I love that. So that is your why pouring out, and that is your connection. And I could definitely see you having an exhibition because the narrative behind that, you know, pulling that work together for that reason. It's a visual diary and it's about the expression without words and us being conscious of the feelings and our bodies and our body language. And yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. So I could absolutely see, and I would come along to that exhibition. So I think it would be so intriguing.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is growing into a bigger vision, isn't it? And it's awesome to hear. Have you got any advice for anyone who's watching? You know, in terms of people who have maybe just started out. I don't know. Let's just throw it out there. Any advice for other budding artists?
Just be you. Whatever you is, just be yourself. Your authentic, congruent self. You cannot extricate your history, your upbringing, your experience from your body. And if you do, then you're going to come into difficulties, both physically and mental health wise. You will do. So embrace who you truly are and bring that to the table or to the canvas. Don't try and block who you are or try and think, oh, I think this will be popular. I don't ever do that. I don't care what's popular, what's not, what I think is good. I just paint. And I think that's what people are connecting with.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I'm not editing, self-editing, stopping myself. I'm just painting. I'm not doing it like they've done it or creating an image that suits them or painting for this exhibition. I'm just painting.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, be yourself. You taught me that, you know, all those years ago when I came to you as a lost individual. And it was one of the things that I admired in you. You were just like, yeah, this is me. This is you, embrace it. And that was one of the biggest lessons I learned was, yeah, I need to just embrace this about myself. And seeing you though do that every week when I turned up, and we used to have so much fun and you used to make me laugh, and in the times where laughing was not easy, and to see you just living that life where I'm just myself, and yeah, I'm a therapist, but and we used to have conversations that were on the edge, and I thought, oh, this is so funny. And it made me think, yeah, you know what, life is just too short, and just embracing who you are is the biggest gift I think you can give yourself.
Because you can't stop yourself from being yourself. So you might edit your words, you might stop yourself from saying things, but your body, your somatic narrative, your sensory motor story will tell anyone that's observing that this is you or this is not you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you're not quite yourself, even face to face with someone, if you're not being yourself and you're trying to edit, that other person will receive that information and it will make them anxious.
Yeah.
That anxiety will be presented back to them, to you, that will make you more anxious.
Yeah.
So you then end up with a rising of anxiety between two human beings instead of this kind of like, if I'm feeling nervous, we had a couple of technical problems before we started this thing, and I could feel my face getting redder and hotter, and I was getting more flustered.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell people that. I'm going to say, oh, I feel a bit nervous. Oh, I feel a bit sicky, or oh, I feel really excited. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go, oh, I ought not to say this in this environment. I'll just speak my truth, be myself, because the minute I'm not, people will know, and that will make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that's what always made me feel so comfortable in our sessions. I must say, I just felt like I could just tell you anything because I felt that way. I felt you were like that with me. You were just yourself, and I could sense that. I've never realized that, actually, looking back now, that that's the difference in all the years of therapy that I ever had. And what I love now is that everything that you have experienced and your background in psychotherapy is feeding into your art now, and this vision for your exhibition, it's kind of taking everything that you've done so far and bringing it together through art, and making us question and challenging our our perception of how we react to things, and thinking about that verbal versus the body. And I just think it's great how everything that you've done so far in life will be coming together as one, but through all these disciplines. It's fascinating, and that's what it should be as an artist, everything coming together, your experiences, the way you feel, what's important to you, and you're just embracing that. So what an inspiration. Thank you so much. I've absolutely loved seeing you again after all these years.
Thank you. It's been amazing and really emotional for me to connect with you today. Just share this sort of space in a completely different way, and just really recall with warmth our experience, and to see you now and to hear your story as you openly speak about your story, and to have been, played a tiny part in that, to see you are where you are today is just so, I feel so emotional.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. It's been a real big moment for me today to be here with you, and has recalled how far I've come and what an impact you've had on my life. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, honestly. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up and say our goodbyes? Is there anything that you want to add to maybe your art matters?
I just think that your art does matter. All of your work, in whatever form, and in your expression, is so important. You don't have to express the same as A, B, or C. Just be you. I cannot hammer home that point hard enough in the nicest possible way, because people will connect to you when you are truly yourself. Expression.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Viv. It was so amazing to see you again, and thank you everyone else for tuning in. I will put Viv's links in so that you can go and follow her journey and her progress, and just thank you for being here and taking the time out to speak with us today, because I know that everyone hearing the stories from the artists this week has just been so powerful and inspiring for everyone. So I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.